We're live, gentlemen. Welcome, America, to the best hour of your day, period. Or if your day's very, very mediocre. Either one. It's the Eric and Rodney Show with Robin. And you're never going to believe this, but we don't have a guest again. It's as if nobody works during the summer except for us three.
It's just us three.
Yeah. Because we're real Americans, industrialists, capitalists, especially Robin. He's the most American among us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Finally included.
You're one of us now.
His nickname is Yankee Doodle.
His accent is almost impeccable. Some words slip in, and I'm like, what the fuck did he just say? But I get it.
Right.
Do we want to start with tips and tricks?
I want to start with some tips and
Some ticks.
Yeah, listen, works. She's here every goddamn day. She's patriotic. Oh shit, look at my shirt. Yeah, America.
I love it.
Thank
America.
you. So, from what I understand with the LinkedIn audience, they love tips and tricks on how to get new business or how to get more followers, all kinds of shit. But Rodney, you've had some success.
I've had some success. Here's what I can tell you. I read this. I took this course rather called the Creator Method by Ben Meir.
Ben Meir, yeah.
Benmeer. Ben Meir, and it basically talks about how he built his audience and how he posts and how to write threads and singles and so forth, and it's really invaluable. So I just applied some of those principles, and believe it or not, people have been reaching out to ask for my help.
My God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. How do you with tits?
It was ticks.
Tits and tricks. What kind of show is this? Eventually, when we get booted off here, we can bring it to OnlyFans, and it's going to be predominantly tits. Predominantly Robins. Mm-hmm. Well, congratulations, Rodney. Your persistence on LinkedIn is paying off monetarily.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is I used to always get a thing every year say I was in the top 1% of LinkedIn, but
really,
it doesn't really mean anything.
No, but now it does. Now you're cashing in.
Well, I wouldn't say cashing in. I would say I'm coining in.
You're coining in.
Yeah.
Roll of quarters. Hey, it starts.
The thing of it is, though, right, is that as you proved with your LinkedIn lunatics, is that some of this, like, it's always these posts about wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, do 1,000 push-ups, right, run 2 miles, take an ice bath, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then get inside of a tent with a heater, and I mean, it's just nobody does that kind of stuff. It's stupid, right? If you want to be successful, like at the end of the day, right, if you really want to look down and just really drill into it, it's almost as if like you just need to sell things.
Right.
Oddly enough, right?
Yeah. It's crazy.
I don't even know if OnlyFans is available in the Philippines, but
OnlyFans is not available, or it is available?
Oh, it is, right? Or not?
I don't think it is. That's why.
Well, Melissa can just bring you on to hers. Hers is great, by the way. It's well worth the $16.95 back there.
Nice.
I got the discount. It's the Eric and Rodney Show. OnlyFans Melissa for discount. What's the Melissa? What's the coupon code? If you can bring it out, pull it up on the show.
It's the coupon code is LinkedIn Tips and Tricks.
Tits and Tricks. Yeah, that should be the name of our show. We might get a larger viewership if it was Tits and Tricks.
Wait, so OnlyFans isn't just only porn, right? Like, there's some other subscriptions that are half decent.
I mean, I believe it to be pornographic, but
yeah.
I could
like,
be.
Who else? Does Andrew Tate have an OnlyFans where it's just him spewing misogynistic bullshit? Like, who
No,
else?
he has a monthly membership site.
Oh, okay. Well, that is. Like, who?
Robin's a graduate.
All right,
He's a Tateologist. Now, here's how it works. You do your undergrad at Andrew Tate School of Handsome Boy Modeling.
Yep.
And then you get your PhD at Trump University.
That makes a lot of sense.
And
yes.
that's,
you take 2 cold showers, write a journal entry, and you're a billionaire, my friend. That's how America. There you go. I like the It's a tricks. I think that bit has legs. Do me a favor, Robin. If I'm not disputing of you, but who do you think has an OnlyFans that's not selling tits and tricks?
Oh, God, I don't know. I've never even opened OnlyFans, but like I'm assuming that you have these influencers in America that just post exclusive content for their fans on OnlyFans. Like that's probably a thing.
I have a Pornhub channel where I teach kids to do algebra. Have you ever been there? It's great. The site gets a lot of traffic, so I figured,
Might as well. You know what's funny though is you say that is because it's like I always feel like with OnlyFans, and I don't know if this is true. I feel like OnlyFans is specifically for not safe for work stuff. And I feel like if you're doing like, because I had this guy one time, he wrote me that I signed up for something, and he sent me this long email, and he's like, if you're really interested in what I have to say here. Yeah. And it was pretty smart guy. He was like, you can sign up for my Patron channel or Patreon, or how do you say it?
Yeah.
How do you say it?
Patreon,
yes. So I go on there and it's like $15 a month, and I was like, what is this? And he's like, for $15 you get this, and I'm like, is this? And I was like, this is ingenious. I didn't sign up, but I'm like, this is ingenious.
If you didn't sign up, yeah, not quite as genius as you would hope.
Well, right, but I was like, I didn't even know something like that existed. I don't know why in the world Instagram didn't decide to do two versions.
I don't know either. I don't know.
Because OnlyFans would have been non-existent.
That's
if Zuckerberg's listening, $1 trillion idea, Zuck.
I like it. I was on Pornhub once, and somebody uploaded a bootleg copy of, or like a theater cell phone version of Avengers Endgame. And that makes a lot of sense because you're not on Pornhub for very long. You know what I mean? Like, I would assume 30 seconds, a couple minutes, right? But then you want to watch a nice movie, and I don't want to leave websites, so it's perfect.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Oh yeah, it's t-shirts. Oh yeah, we're all in t-shirts.
That's right. We're all in t-shirts.
Thanks for acknowledging that, Becky. All right, listen, what's in the news? I'm going to tell you, the news segment today is going to be very controversial because Robin picked some fucked up stories.
It always is. So we're talking a lot of sex crimes today. We're starting with the best one. So this story is almost just too bizarre. So like the headline was just so great that I didn't even have to make any notes for it. So I'm just going to read it to you. A middle school principal lured a teenage girl with a Grimace milkshake nuggets after meeting on Snapchat. So this freak, he's been snapping this girl for like a couple of weeks, and then they set a time and place.
Did you say snapping?
Yeah, Snapchat.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that's what it's called. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so get this. He shows up with the Grimace shake, nuggets, and a box of condoms. Box of condoms.
Well, how big were the nuggets? Was it a 20-piece or
was it a family sized? Was he planning on sharing? Or was it just the 6-piece nugget with the Grimace milkshake?
I mean, were they going to share a 6-piece nugget, a Grimace shake, and then get right into it?
This poor guy's just trying to celebrate his fucking birthday, and all of a sudden they're wrapped up in a sex scandal.
Now, which one of these is the principal?
The Hamburglar.
Is that him on the left?
This is the chick. This is police footage.
That's too good. That's too good. And the girl apparently is a duck with a terrible haircut. She must really be into skateboarding.
Oh, fuck.
Well, I mean, he's dressed appropriately because he's probably going to jail.
It's a security footage from the McDonald's. Hold on.
You know what would be really funny? You know what would be really funny? Hold on, time out before we get into the story.
No, it's too much.
If you took that picture and people had never seen or heard of McDonald's and didn't know what any of that was, and you were like, what do you think is going on here?
You're never going to believe this is the most successful restaurant in the United States. They fucking kill it.
Like anyway. Grimace is scary, boy.
It is, but he's 16, according to Robin.
Yeah, he's 16. He just got his license.
He can drive.
So apparently he's not safe from the principal either. Which explains quite a bit now.
It does. Holy shit. I was just thinking he probably should have brought Subway because that's more on brand. You know what I mean? Because of Jared. Right? Hilarious. Yeah. So, Robin, do you have To Catch a Predator in the Philippines? Did you ever watch that show? It was the greatest thing that's ever happened on TV.
Oh yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, so we don't have those TV shows, but there are a lot of like news stories that has come out over the past couple of years where like these creepy old white men coming to the Philippines and they're like looking for children.
Oh yeah, your whole country is To Catch a Predator. Holy shit.
Yeah. So it's not even a TV show. It's just like on the daily news.
Reality.
Did you ever see the best one though?
on To Catch a Predator?
Yeah, this was the best one ever, in my opinion. So they rented this house, right? And these neighbors were like really nosy and were worried someone was breaking in because they keep seeing people going back and forth. So the neighbor wanders over there, walks in, and they're like, who is this guy? And he's like, what are you guys doing in here? This is my friend Ricky's house. You better get out. And Chris Matthews comes around the corner and he's like, sir, what are you doing here? And he goes, what are you doing here? And he's like looking at him, and like the little kid or the girl or whoever was pretending to be a kid, right, runs in the back, and he's like, I'm calling the police. They're like, sir, the police are here. He gets so worked up, doesn't know what's going on. They have to escort him to the back. His wife comes out. She's like, what's going on?
No shit.
One of the guys came up, one of the predators came up, saw what was going on, and took off.
Oh, and then they had to chase him down?
And they had to chase him down. Like, I don't know what was going on, but it was all because of some old man thought these people were breaking in. It's insanity. It was the best ever episode.
That show was so successful. I watched an episode recently that they couldn't keep up with the amount of predators that were showing up. Like they had to quickly, like Chris Hansen had to quickly interview them, get them in the back, zip tie them, and there were just like 20 fucking dumpy white guys in the backyard being arrested because
in the backyard, yeah.
Just sitting there with khakis on and like fucking white New Balances.
Do you remember the one guy? Do you remember the one guy that the girl or I think it was a girl, right? It was a girl or boy, whatever. It was pretending to be the kid. Went to the back or said she was going to the bathroom. Yeah. And she comes back and he's completely naked. Remember that? Yeah, like completely naked. He doesn't have anything on. And then remember Chris Matthews comes out and says, why don't you take a seat? That's what he said when he came to the old man. He goes, why don't you take a seat? He goes, why don't you take a seat? What are you doing here? You're my friend's house.
This is what makes this story so great is that the To Catch a Predator people would always bring like, they go, well, can you bring like a 6-pack of Mike's Hard Lemonade and some condoms, to show intent? This fucking guy did the To Catch a Predator. He brought a greatest like all by himself in a 6-pack of nuggets. It's fucking crazy.
That's presumptive though, right? Like maybe you don't like the Grimace milkshake. I don't even know what a Grimace milkshake is. That's new.
So yeah, this is it's semi-controversial because they dropped it and everybody's it's just a vanilla milkshake with purple food coloring. What the fuck did you think it was going to be?
Grimace I was wondering. Passion fruit. I'm joking. No, I mean, what do they think?
McDonald's.
That would be a bold move.
You know what's scary about sending your kid to school in the United States? They might get shot. The principal might try to fuck them. They could be indoctrinated into some sort of LGBT cult, according to Fox News. It's very dangerous having children.
A lot going on.
A lot going on for these kids. A lot.
Beginning to understand why Rodney doesn't want kids.
I'm thinking about giving mine
away.
It's
all coming together.
Yeah. America is a fucked up place. But so like every time there's a serial killer story, it's always in America. So I'm not really sure if it's just America just has so many fucked up people or like policing.
We have better media. There must be serial killers. You don't have it. There's no.
There's serial killers everywhere. I think one of the craziest one of all time, I think, was in Mexico or maybe the Philippines. He started out in the Barefoot Bandits and then escalated right on through the ranks. You know what I always wondered though, right? Is that you ever see those mafia stories and they'll be like, yeah, this is Bobby Two Tones. Here he killed 75 people. I think he might be a serial killer.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're like he's just they're like Jimmy Two Hands killed 13 people. Jimmy's a serial killer.
Yeah.
Oddly enough.
Remember Jack the Ripper? He wasn't from here. It's English.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't have one. Yeah. You don't have one serial killer.
Some of them are recorded, but they're like pretty old. So most of them don't really make news anymore.
Interesting.
But
they haven't been doing their work. You know what I always say though, right? The best serial killers. Or actually, I didn't say this, but Mark, the guy, they had a show on Netflix, amazing, by the way, called Mindhunter. And the guy that made it was like some master FBI. He was like a profiling guy. I forget his name now. Anyway, he said in it that the best serial killers are the ones we don't know.
Ah, yes. They're always quiet, Yeah. Nobody ever says when they interview the neighbors, oh, yeah, he was definitely a serial killer. I knew it was going to catch up to him. No, like, oh, he's just a quiet guy. Went out.
I mean, even Jeffrey Dahmer's neighbors. And I mean, we, from that show Jeffrey Dahmer had, I mean, I can't imagine anybody was like, what's coming from Jeff's apartment?
Yeah.
Yikes.
The smell of dead humans. You know what it is about the Philippines? I think people go there to fuck, not to fight. You know what I mean? You're just there for a good time. You're there for the lady boys.
You're there for the drugs.
It's lovers' nation.
Yeah. It's like Virginia. It's for lovers.
Exactly. And if the cops catch you having killed 10 people, a large size party bag of Lay's potato chips. It goes
That's the trick.
right under the rug, right?
Yeah.
Eric's like, I killed 25 people. They're like, he's like, here's 2 Lays, and he's like, hold on, hold
out.
Bag of Funyuns.
Exactly.
And they're like, get this man out of here immediately. Escort him
not
home.
to see here, folks.
They're counting out the Funyuns.
He's innocent. All right. Well, I don't know what to say about this story other than, here's the other thing. So the first time you get caught meeting up with a 16-year-old with a Grimace milkshake and 6 McNuggets is not the first time that you brought McNuggets and you know what I mean? This principal is clearly a predator. There's no way, you know what I mean? He's been a principal for 20 years. This is the first time. This is not the first time. This should be punishable by death, by the way. Just kill him.
Or we send him over to Ukraine.
That's fine too.
To front lines.
Yeah.
This guy said, we put a sign on him that says in Russian that says this guy said he's going to take Vlad's head right off his shoulders.
Perfect.
Point him to the show.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're running. They don't have any ammunition. Remember,
that's right. Well, I'm sure they can get him with a battle axe or something.
Yeah, that's true. What was that?
Any states still? Do any states still have the death penalty?
Oh yeah, but not for these kinds of crimes. You got to kill somebody. You got to kill a lot of people.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I know, right? We should kill child molesters, though, I think. They never get better. The recidivism rate is huge. They always reoffend. Fucking kill them. I don't think that's
or we send them over to wherever the last problem was.
Yeah. We fight an army of pedophiles and just send them on suicide missions. Love it.
Listen, it's not the worst day. Like, don't you think here's one. Don't you think Jared would be more useful, right? In whatever he's doing now, being dropped out of a plane. Like, instead of dropping bombs, drop him.
I like that.
Right out of the plane.
I'm not sure how good that fat fuck's going to be at war, but let's try.
No. If you drop him out of the plane, he's going to hit something.
Oh, we're just dropping him like a missile.
That's right. Yeah. And you say, hey, listen. So someone would say, oh, my God, something just fell on the car. Was that a bird? No, it was Jared from Subway.
So your idea is child molester bombs. They would just drop hordes of child molesters.
That's right. Instead of cluster bombs, these are child molester bombs.
Wow.
They're just child molesters.
Can we set them on fire first? Just hope for the best? Like, you know what I mean?
I'm thinking that we use some sort of way to put something inside of them that we can light.
Okay.
To detonate them once they reach impact.
I like this. I like this a lot.
Take it to the next level.
Right.
Don't you guys still have like this island where you ship off terrorists to, where they have like maximum security? That's still a thing, right?
Australia.
No.
They're thriving. They're thriving there on the Gold Coast.
Are you referring to Guantanamo Bay?
Yeah, there.
Yeah, we're not allowed to do that anymore.
I think that shut down, didn't it? Or is it still there?
Yeah, something about all the rape and the naked pyramids. Yeah, we got in trouble. That was taken a little too far. You know what I mean? We had a prison where we could falsely accuse people and keep them there forever, but then we had to do naked pyramids and blow the whole thing up. Very American story about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like, have you heard of our dessert, Death by Chocolate? Are you familiar with this? It's like chocolate cake used to be fine with vanilla frosting, but we were like, oh shit, you like chocolate? How's chocolate cake with chocolate frosting, chocolate sprinkles, chocolate ice cream? And they're like, it's fucking too much. But we had it.
It's not chocolate.
We always go too far.
Yeah.
And that's why we're going to be bringing you some more freedom soon.
Because in America, we kill people who kill people because killing people's wrong.
Exactly. And don't you forget it. God bless. All right, what's next? What other sexual news stories do you have?
This one's not too sexual, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's part of that group. You're not going to believe this, but there is a group of people called the Patriotic Millionaires. And it consists of wealthy Americans that are pushing for higher taxes. So part of this group is a guy called...
Hold on. You're saying higher taxes?
Higher taxes, yes.
These people are fools. Go on.
Yeah. So the part of those fools is a man named Stephen Prince. And how is he choosing to be the most patriotic version of himself? He's selling his private jet because he found out how much carbon it emits. So it's a major problem that I'm not privileged enough to ever experience. Rodney, what's going on in your private jet? What's it like?
It's good. It's nice. It's not as nice as Eric's.
No, mine's
This is absurd. Here's the thing. I don't understand. If this guy, hold on a second. Hold on. Time out now. I used to have an accountant, if you can imagine, right, who used to say to me that it was my duty to pay taxes. At which point I reminded him it was his duty to make sure I paid as little taxes, or rather reduce my tax liability. Here's where I'm going with it. I believe if this guy wants to pay taxes, this is what he needs to do. Give all of his money away. Pay him for us.
Right.
It's just common sense.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. This story is dumb for a variety of reasons. One of which is it's just like carbon credits. It's just like if we go electric and then we send our old ass cars to Africa, it's a zero-sum game. He's selling his private jet. Someone's going to buy his private jet and then fly that jet. So it doesn't fucking matter that you give up a jet. You know what I mean? Here's the other thing. He's been used to flying private jets. You think the first time he flies coach, he's not going to be like, fuck this shit, I'm buying another jet? Of course he is. It's not like a tattoo. It's not permanent. You're just going to go buy another jet, you stupid asshole.
I think that he should resign himself to only flying Southwest or Spirit.
Yeah, see how long he takes when they do the cattle call and you don't even have assigned seats and like.
And you're sitting beside the guy with a bucket of chicken and a pizza.
He's trying to open the door. Oh, stop it!
Wait,
if you are rich enough for a private jet, have a private jet. Stop it! What are you doing?
Wait. So we don't have Spirit Airlines in the Philippines. Can you take me through the experience of what a Spirit flight is like?
It's like $39 round trip, right?
Yeah. I don't. Which one of the ones you don't get assigned seating? They just cattle call you.
Yeah, it's Southwest.
Yeah, Southwest is a fucking nightmare. And I didn't know this. Like anyone who flies there is a misogynist. Why? Just give me a fucking seat. Like what money are you saving by not assigning me a seat?
You know what's funny about that whole scenario though? So as I always feel like this, I'm being facetious, but I feel like if you fly Southwest from like California to Las Vegas, they'll fly you out to Reagan. Yeah. Drop you off and then bring you back. Like everything is through Baltimore. Everything's like you have. I remember one time I was flying to Charlotte. They flew all the way to Baltimore, flew back, and then flew to Charlotte. I was like, "What is going on? What's going on?"
There's some money-saving algorithm that's not good for the environment. But the word
I'm not smart enough to understand it.
Me either. But have you been on Ryanair? It's a European.
Okay, yes, Ryanair.
Okay, Ryanair is fucking horrifying. It's like a bus in the sky. There's no seatbelts. The fucking shit's plastic. All the bad people are in the back, like smoking cigarettes and fucking throwing paper airplanes and shit. It's pandemonium. But the flight's like $10. So I don't know. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's true.
Here's the thing: either go Ryanair or just be a reasonable American airline. Don't this weird Southwest shit's gonna go.
Yeah, it's weird. And the weirdest thing about Southwest is you can bring anything on the plane. Like I wasn't joking. I sat beside a guy one time who had a bucket of chicken and a pizza, and I was like, "Where's he going to put this stuff?" You know what I mean? It's not going to sit in my lap.
I don't know. Here's the other thing too about this guy not wanting to or wanting to pay more taxes. I don't think that's the answer. I think we need to spend our tax dollars more wisely. You know, like anytime you look into what we're spending money on, it seems very expensive. Like Halliburton's a classic case of screws costing $2,000. Like I'm sure we are spending stupidly.
I just feel like there's nobody in the government though that's sitting around auditing this stuff. That's
right. And somewhat ironically, if we were to have that governing body, it would cost taxpayer dollars. So it's really we're kind of fucked, you know?
Yeah. We don't want to take away from the criminal activities.
No, that'd be very bad. Very, very bad. But I can't
imagine. Yeah, would you guys agree with lowering the military spending?
I think so. I'm not naive enough to think that we don't need a giant army to scare everybody. But do we need it? Does it need to be this big? I don't know.
You know what I would do if I was in charge? I'm just brainstorming here, right? But I'm just in my mind. What I would do if I was in charge of the military is everyone gets bonuses, right? Everybody gets a big raise, right? Yeah. And they say, well, the plane costs this. Well, you know what? I'm America. So unless you want me to unleash the military on, you're going to figure out how to build it for $15.
Right.
That's what I never understood when Kim Jong-un, they were like, well, we don't know what to say to him. Let me speak with him. Kim, do you want to meet Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden? Because I'll let you do it. We're going to play a little game called Which SEAL Team is going to take you out first. You choose. I'm going to say 6. Maybe you think 8. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that would have been it.
I think we don't want to destabilize. See, here's the thing. If we take out him, what's going to happen is all the North Koreans are going to flood into China, South Korea, the Philippines, Guam. And I think if we disrupt, like sometimes,
look, you're saying it could hurt China?
Yeah, but I don't think we want to.
Sounds like an open plan.
Have you heard what China's doing? It's very bad. They're buying all the Navy yards in Africa. So I don't know what I don't know what the world problem is.
I don't know if we can solve it today, but I think a couple more shows we could get it licked.
Probably. It's funny because my criticism of having Andrew Tate on Tucker Carlson for 2 hours, like, who the fuck cares about Andrew Tate's opinion on COVID? Who the fuck cares about our opinions on North Korea?
Everyone. I
Obviously.
mean, I can't. If someone stopped me yesterday and they said, "Rod, listen, what do you think about North Korea?" I said, "Gather around, children. Gather around."
I have a tale to tell.
Yeah.
What is just like Ja Rule with 9/11? What does Rodney think about
Spin
North
this
Korea?
yarn. That's what happens all the time. Something big happens and CNN flies in and they're like, "Rod, what do you think?" And I'm like, "Guys, seriously, I'm just trying to serve the pickleball. Give me a minute, right?"
Just the PEO god. Rod, the PEO god.
That's right.
All right, what else do we got? Shithead.
So we were actually supposed to cover this yesterday, and it's so good that I saved this. So sometimes I find it hard to believe in leprechauns, but then I see the phrase Japanese street taco man, and suddenly leprechauns are much more believable. So this is a success story of a Japanese man who had a gap in his job when there was a big earthquake in 2011. So it shook his business, quite literally. He took a trip to Italy, and then he questioned his life. And then he said, "Where can I go, which is a godforsaken place, where I'm completely out of my comfort zone?" And he found himself in Mexico. So he quickly established himself as the taco man, and he brought it back to Japan.
So he moved to Mexico, or he went on vacation?
He moved to Mexico. Okay, so here's the crux of the story. He had his first taco, and it brought him to tears because it tasted so fucking good, his street taco. And I do think, so I thought about this too when I was in Italy. So obviously food's great. It's very Italian, but their liquor game sucks. So I was like, what if they had great bourbon in Italy? I was going to call it Burbellini because you can't call it bourbon if it's not made in the United States. And the point of this is there's no tacos in Japan. There's no fucking great bourbon in Italy. I feel like you could make a lot of money if you bring the good shit from one place to another place. Not necessarily freedom or higher taxes or Christianity, but tacos. You know what I mean? Like, are there Filipino tacos? Is there a possibility I could throw some of your shit in a tortilla and bring it here?
Unfortunately not.
No. Fortunately, if it doesn't exist, I'm going to make it exist. What's that shit you talked about yesterday? Pancit? Can I put pancit in a burrito?
In a taco, can it be handheld? That's all we need to know.
No, can I put some pancit?
Blink twice for yes.
Okay, here's the thing about pancit. You can fuck around with a lot of things in the Philippines. Just don't fuck with pancit because you're gonna get a lot of angry Filipinos.
I've heard that about Asian cultures because I watched this episode of Chef's Table where this white guy went over to Japan and started doing ramen. And it was like, you cannot fuck around with sushi. You can't fuck around with all these other, but you can fuck around with ramen. So we fucked around with the one thing. But I'm going to be the one white guy brave enough to fuck around with pancit as soon as I figure out what it is.
Well, that's fair.
We're going to start up at Pancit Express right beside Panda Express. You come on in here and tell us what kind of topping you want. We'll get it sorted out real quick for you now.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yep. We're going to insult the fuck out of you and put ketchup on top.
That's right.
Well, here's one thing that's punishable by death. If you guys have Jollibee in where you guys are? The Jollibee?
Jollibee?
Jollibee. It's a food chain.
I don't know him.
No, never heard of him.
The one
I never met her.
One thing that we've done is we've added like sugar inside your spaghetti, and we put pieces of hot dogs in them, and it's kind of like Filipino spaghetti.
That sounds terrible. That sounds like SpaghettiOs.
I'm out on Filipino cuisine.
Yeah, you've lost this.
So you do a sugary tomato sauce with chopped up hot dogs and spaghetti?
Yeah, and people love it. At least Filipinos do. Like, it's not spaghetti unless
that sounds like Chef Boyardee, right, Eric?
It does sound, yeah, I'm gonna send you over some SpaghettiOs with meatballs. You're gonna fucking love it.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Have you ever had beefaroni? Oh boy, you are in for a treat.
That is a very that will clean out your system.
Oh yeah. So they mention a bunch of Japanese phrases in this because it's a very spiritual article. One of the words is ikigai. I don't know, Ikigai.
Oh yeah, living well, right?
Commitment to your life's purpose. And I love that this guy just decided that selling street tacos is his life purpose. You know, like that's. Yeah. It's an.
I have a book called Ikage, and it talks about it's about the blue zones, about how to live and how these people live to be like 100 plus.
I love the blue zones. Yes, Okinawa, Sardinia, in a place in the United States where everyone's a Seventh-day Adventist. Do you know about this?
I don't even know what that is. Is that a religion?
It's a religion, and they live according to Genesis or some shit, and they're all vegetarians who eat a lot of nuts and stuff. But here's the thing: like, obviously, if you do that, you're gonna live a long time.
What was it? Genesis pre-Phil Collins or after?
It was after Phil Collins. It was with
Studio.
Yeah, what's the other guy's name?
Peter Gabriel.
Peter Gabriel.
It's a Peter Gabriel.
They live life according to the Peter Gabriel's version of Genesis.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's an odd article. Kaizen too. Are you familiar with Kaizen? K-I.
Beginner's mind. Is that beginner's mind?
It's Japanese for continuous improvement.
Beginner's mind.
How do you guys just know these Japanese phrases?
The American education system's unbelievable. They teach us Japanese.
This is right after square dancing and recorder class.
Exactly.
Okay.
Why do you know these Japanese phrases?
No, but I thought maybe it's just because you were looking for how there are a lot of white people that tattoo Asian phrases on their body.
Yeah, like water or rice noodles.
I learned Japanese so I could read American bodies. I'm like, yes, I see. Very wise, Karen. You're
Thank you, Karen. He says, Karen has a tattoo. Let's speak to the manager.
A lot, yes. Do Asians have American? Do they have English phrases they don't understand? Tattoo ass crack?
Some do, but
really?
Like motivational quotes or phrases, some people really tattoo that on themselves.
Interesting.
Like, give me an example. Live, love, eat.
Yeah, or like stuff related to depression, or it's like a Gen Z thing. I think it's
so not like a live, laugh, love, right across your back.
I'm pretty sure you can find a Filipina tita that has live, laugh, love on it.
Who's a Filipina tita? What'd you say?
What the fuck is a Filipina tita?
Okay, a tita is Tagalog and Spanish for aunt.
A mamacita?
For what?
Aunt.
Filipina tita. A Filipino tita. Filipina tita?
Yeah.
An aunt?
An aunt.
If you say Filipina titas, it's like you'd imagine a group of older Filipino women. It's same in
I've never
Mexico.
envisioned a group of older. What is it, like a group of older Filipino women
that have shitty tattoos?
Yeah.
Here's what I do find this guy interesting, but two things I hate about his life is, one, he's a minimalist. And listen, I'm pretty left, but remember the whole tiny house thing a few years ago? Everybody wanted to minimize that.
Yes.
That Japanese chick was like, throw everything away. I don't believe about. I want no part of this. I want a giant house with a giant pool. I want a lot of shit. I don't believe in that. And the other thing is, when taco trucks become popular, people stand in line for hours. And listen, I love tacos as much as the next guy, but I fucking hate standing in line. And I don't know, like, who's this? Would you stand in line? They said 2 to 3 hours for a taco. Under any circumstance, would you stand in line for 2 or 3 hours for a taco?
Isn't that kind of the situation with pizza in New York?
I don't think so. Is it?
No, nobody waits in line 2 or 3 hours.
No.
Also.
Here's another option you can do, right, in New York. I don't know about where this guy is, but in New York, you can just order from the food trucks and have Seamless pick it up, or Uber, or whoever.
Or a Filipina tita.
Or Filipina tita. Yeah.
I wouldn't wait 2 hours in line for anything. Not even like a free orgasm. You know what I'm saying? From a ladyboy.
Here's the other thing too, right? Just brainstorming. If you have a 2 hour wait and you're out of a food truck, you know what's crazy town? Maybe you start a restaurant.
You could
right?
do it. Yes.
I mean, it just makes sense. Like, people will be like, you know what? I've sold so much stuff. I don't know what to do. I have an idea.
Yeah.
Expand. Right?
Yes. Robin, so this is my uncle, and the thing I used to make fun of them about all the time is they buy gigantic versions of things. So they'll never have a normal jar of pickles. They have to have 5 gallons of pickles. They'll never buy like a 4-pack of Pop-Tarts. They have to buy like they had 4 kids, but everything was comically sized, which I know you don't have that in the Philippines, do you?
No, but
were they fans of Sam's Club?
Yes, everything was.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. I understand. No, that's how I grew up too. Yeah, everything we had to have 4 ketchups.
4.
All of it. Well, whatever it was, right? Everything we had to have a bunch of them. And I used to always think, and I said to my mom, "There's only 3 of us," and she's like, "What?"
Yeah, but we need
something happens. We need it.
Right. That's a weird thing about Sam's Club and shit. You can buy like a 3-pack of canoes and a gallon of ketchup. It's a fucking weird place.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Robert?
No, I was just gonna say, the only place you could probably buy cream cheese. There's like this big American membership shopping area in the Philippines. And yes, they sell everything in very giant boxes. And
Is it
like, you can't
expensive?
get- no, it's actually cheaper because in fairness, you're buying things in bulk. So,
Mm,
but it's sad because
I see.
yeah, it's sad because like the lower class can't buy these things. It's just because they buy their stuff for the day or for the week. Whereas yeah.
Well, listen. Welcome to capitalism, my friend. The lower class is always going to eat shitty, but this is what you need to do. You know, 2 Americans, we can get you into this little market, right? You just go listen. You know, Eric and Rodney. You walk in, you get a 5-gallon tub of cream cheese. You get some jalapenos. You hollow them out. You put the cream cheese in the jalapeno. Deep fry that shit.
Yeah.
What should we call it?
It's like you pulp them in your mouth. So I don't know. Cream cheese peppers? No, that's not right.
Jalapeno poppers.
Oh shit!
Robin, write that down.
Then dip them in a nice marinara. Put some sugar and tomato sauce and fucking
Yeah. And then you cut it into pieces and put it into spaghetti with sugar. Sounds great. But a Kool-Aid. Do you guys have Kool-Aid over there?
Oh, cool.
No, we don't. We have something called Tang.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we used to drink that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tang.
Something.
But you don't have Kool-Aid?
No,
It's pretty smart, right?
You never had Kool-Aid?
No, man. There's a lot of sugar in it.
Have you had ranch dressing?
It's available, but like
Oh,
Robin.
Oh my God! Please leave now and go get some.
You gotta write all this down. Go get yourself some nice pancit and dip some put some ranch on that shit. Some Hidden Valley ranch.
Robin, have you ever had blue cheese dressing?
Oh,
blue cheese. Not dressing, but blue cheese I've had.
I'm gonna blow your mind. Listen, here's a trick to show your friends. Do you have wings, chicken wings? Do you know what that is?
Of course.
Next time you get them, order them, and then say, "Let me get a side of blue cheese and a side of ranch."
Yep.
Their heads will explode at the table when they dip it in there. Oh my God!
that's
You're not gonna believe this. There's a fine establishment called Hooters.
Yep.
It's a female-first organization, but they have made an entire business out of wings and those 2 sauces.
There might be other ingredients to Hooters' success, but I generally agree with you.
But yeah, the food, yeah. I would say the food
in general,
success.
menu. It's Michelin starred, I think. I think they got 2 Michelin stars. Let me put this. Robin doesn't know what we're talking about. We need to.
No,
I'm confused.
Listen.
I'm so confused.
Think about this. It's like a party in your mouth. It's like a ladyboy party in your mouth. It's like
Imagine there's a really good beat in your hair at your head, and then there's a party going on in your mouth like a nacho or something.
Yes. That's what ranch tastes like.
Yeah.
12 lady
right.
boys.
And ranch is really good with pizza. Do you guys have pizza? Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it somewhere.
Papa John's, Five Guys.
Domino's. Have you been to Domino's? It's a nice Italian place. They're great.
Domino's, yes.
They make sandwiches and tater tots.
Oh yeah, it's great.
So I mean, you have Hooters, and I know there are a lot of Weirs in America. Does every Hooters have like a customary what do you call those people? Those big people that stand by the door, bouncers.
Bouncers?
Do Hooters have bouncers?
No, nobody gets that.
It's a family establishment.
Yeah, that's for strip clubs and my house.
Okay.
When you said big guy by the door, I was thinking, is he talking about someone's father? Waiting in line to get seated?
There are many fat Americans waiting to get seated at
Hooters.
Nationwide.
So you may be confused about who exactly is security. You may think it's the woman or the man or both of them.
Yeah, when you see 75, 300-pound white men, you think they're, I don't know, they're just hungry.
That's not the next boss you have to defeat.
To get into Hooters?
Yeah.
Man, we did a good job with this Japanese story. But I do think that if we brought cuisine, like, I don't know, everyone has American shit, but tacos. We're going to get, do you have tacos over there? Are tacos?
We have Taco Bell, but that's pretty much it. I don't know how it compares, but
you do have Taco Bell or you don't?
Yeah, we brought that along with some fucking freedom.
I saw something yesterday when I was trolling LinkedIn lunatics during a 5-minute lunch break that somewhere they had created, I think it was Japan or so, they had made a hamburger, a cheeseburger that was made out of just cheese.
I saw that 28 slices of cheese or something.
Jesus.
Yeah. Is that wild?
We run out of ideas. Like come on. When you
But I was thinking instead of slices, just do like a big chunk.
that would be better.
Guys, get creative.
And you're eating it raw. It's just 28 slices. They're not even melting it. It's not even like a 28 cheese grilled cheese.
Yeah. Why don't you just take a block of cheese, melt it, and throw the bread in there and be like, here.
Nobody consults us with anything. It's really starting to bother me. All right, what's the next news story?
Okay, so we've been talking about this for quite some time, but it has a continuation.
All right, there's no burritos in the Dominican Republic. It sounds like an opportunity. Just saying.
So I actually used to look up to the likes of Elon Musk, but it's getting harder and harder to do so. Do you know what else is hard? Elon Musk's genitalia. Because following the Threads launch,
what kind of relationship do you guys have? Yikes.
It's quite secretive.
Woo!
So following the Threads launch, Elon has tweeted several bizarre things, including Zuck is a cuck.
Yeah.
And this is also verbatim.
Yeah.
I propose a literal dick measuring contest.
Yep. I don't want to disrupt you, but if you're in a dick measuring contest, do you measure flaccid or erect? You don't know?
I'm out of my depth.
I propose, I think
he's out of his day. He's in the weeds.
Yeah, I'm in the weeds. I think what you should probably do is measure flaccid and erect, take the two totals, add them together, divide by 2, and that's the dick size.
But here's what I would say. I would say do it that same method. Take the two, add them together.
And that's what it is?
And then multiply it. What was that movie that time the guy was like, yeah, you know, he was like, yeah, you know, if whatever number the guy tells you of past lovers he's had divided by 3 or whatever, and his girl divided by 5 or whatever it was.
No, girls multiplied by 5.
Yeah, it was funny. I forget what movie that was. It was funny.
Well, you know what the problem with Elon is?
Eli.
The problem with Elon, he's a ringer because he's African, right? So you got to figure there's a little bit more size there than the average American.
Well, the other thing too we were wrong about is I think we said he had a diamond mine. It was an emerald mine.
Oh, see, we know nothing about Elon Musk. Here's the other thing that bothers me.
Get your facts together.
I know. I'm a stupid idiot. Elon also said that Zuck is a cuck, and I don't like the kink shaming.
I got to be honest. I think you showed me or somebody. All right, no, I saw a picture yesterday on Instagram of I don't follow UFC or MMA or any of that other kind of mess. Not that it's not good, but I don't know the people's names. And I saw Mark Zuckerberg working out with 2 guys yesterday.
Yeah,
that looked like they could do some damage. I don't know if they did him any damage, but I think they could do some damage. They looked for real, and he was in the middle of the 2 of them, and he looked pretty jacked up. He looked like Robin does.
Yeah, exactly. He's got big triceps. He's gonna whoop his ass. I'm telling you.
And Elon, when I saw him off the back of that boat, I like Elon, but I got to be honest, man. Elon didn't look like he was built for war.
He's got the size advantage, but he's just doughy. I don't know. Like
I mean, if he comes full head on in a charge, he might get you. But if Mark's fast enough to move or duck,
I'm telling you, the sprawl is going to be the whole thing.
He's built like a 1950s fridge
refrigerator. He's very thick. Yeah, he's thick around the middle.
My man.
I don't know if you guys have heard this, but so they did some research on like Roman gladiators or the Colosseums where these people would fight, and they found out that actually it's depicted very incorrectly. So like all the gladiators, they were actually very pudgy men, and the reason being is because they were fed really horseshit quality food. So like you just have these people that
Taco Bell.
Yeah, I was gonna say what horseshit quality food in the Roman Empire days. Like, did they have McDonald's? Yeah. Did they have Grimace milkshakes? Chicken nuggets and Grimace milkshakes. The cuck thing. You guys know what cucking is, I assume?
Of course. So are you defending the cucks?
I'm not. I just don't want to kink shame. Like, it's not my thing. I'd call me crazy. I wouldn't want to watch another man have sex with my wife. But you know who came up with the word cuckold?
William Shakespeare.
William fucking Shakespeare. Huh?
I learned that in college.
Yeah, man. So the point is, people have been kinky. I know we know this, but we don't really know this. They've been kinky since day one. We've been doing wild shit forever. Now we just
even
put it
when
on.
Old Billy was back.
Exactly. But now we have OnlyFans, so we know everyone's doing it. But calling somebody a cuck is that's a bold move, Elon. Better back it up. Now Zuck has to fight him, right? He's just talking too much shit. You got to throw down now, or you are a cuck.
I guess they're not all competing to get to space anymore, right? Now they're.
Do you? Yeah, I don't know.
You Oh, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just want to say is, who I think could do some damage in the ring would be Bezos. Remember how he used to be? He was that nerd riding around in his Honda, giggling and laughing in his khakis, and now he's like walking around with his vest on. And that, I got to be honest, like out of all the women in the world to pick, I don't know. Like I don't get the impression she's into him.
The new Bezos chick?
Yeah, I just don't think she's into him. I really don't.
What do you think attracted her to him?
I'm going to be honest and say it's probably his personality, but beyond that, it's hard to say. Maybe it's his looks.
Do you think that this is theater of the absurd? Like, do you think rich people 100 years ago were pulling this shit? Do you think like the Vanderbilts were fighting the Rockefellers? Or did we have reasonable rich people? You know what I'm saying?
I think they were reasonable.
I think so. Did Henry Ford threaten whoever the fuck else was making shitty cars at the time? I mean, it's just a weird time to be.
No, but I did find out that Henry Ford apparently was a Adolf Hitler supporter, Nazi supporter.
Oh, really? He was a Nazi sympathizer?
I mean, that's what I've heard.
I've heard that about Walt Disney too. I don't know about these Nazi sympathizers, although I do have one in LinkedIn Lunatics. I don't know.
You know what's crazy to me? Can I just say this? Is that how you ever play those little games when you were little, like ad libs or mad libs, or whatever? They'd be like, "What two words don't go together? Nazi and sympathizer."
Right.
Right. They just don't like.
It's a poor choice of words.
Yeah. I think it's a better one would be Nazi asshole.
Yeah. Or just Nazi. I think if you sympathize with Nazis, I think you're a Nazi.
It's a four-letter word. Four-letter word. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a fan of the Patriots. I'm not a Patriot sympathizer. I'm just a fan. You know what I mean?
Right. So if you're a fan of Nazis, right. Exactly. See, we fixed it for you, America.
Exactly.
This is what we do here. The hard work, the good stuff. Big things.
We're just people helping people.
People helping people is powerful stuff, people.
All right. What's next?
Okay, so this is another.
Way down. I can feel it right now.
Yeah, I don't know how to properly get into this one. It's also kind of sexual.
It's best just to dive in.
Okay. I don't know if you guys know this person, but she was a Nickelodeon child star. You might know her from iCarly. Her name is Jeanette McCurdy. I don't know if I'm saying that name correctly.
What is iCarly? What are you talking about?
So this is probably my generation.
Yeah, it's some show on Nickelodeon.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't watch Nickelodeon. I know who knew.
Yeah, I don't want to brag.
I didn't even know that was still around.
Not enough nudity for me on Nickelodeon. But what happened?
Yeah, actually, there were a lot of teenagers sexualizing over her because she would like reveal herself on that show. Anyways,
oh my God.
So this story is also kind of related to that. She's claiming that her mother gave her showers until she was 18, and she felt uncomfortable at it. So her excuse was she was thoroughly examining her for lumps and cancer. But the monitoring is just a bit too much. I mean, this is an 18-year-old. Now, we do have to do a background check of where her mother's from, because apparently in some parts of the Philippines, it's okay to shower with your in-laws.
That's exactly why I was laughing, because I was just thinking that Ed's 52 and showers with his father-in-law.
Maybe she's just Filipino. We don't know.
We don't know.
This story is fucking. This obviously very, and it gets darker. It's just an awful story. And then this girl wrote a book called "I'm Glad My Mom's Dead" or "I'm Glad My Mother Died" or something. Yeah. I'm glad she cashed in on it a little bit. It's a terrible story. I think at its core, it just goes to show how fucked up Hollywood is in totality. Like the shit that goes on in Hollywood. Why is it so disgusting? You know?
Yeah. It's wild.
So. I might argue on this, but writing a book called "I'm Glad My Mother Died," do you think that's poor taste, or could that be justifiable?
I think it's justifiable in this case. I mean, we shouldn't get into the details of the story, but the mother was doing some real fucked up shit. So however you can cash in on that, God bless you. It's like sometimes I watch that show Intervention, and then these people talk about their lives.
That show's great.
They go, holy shit, your life is terrible. Keep drinking. Like being sober is not going to help you. Everything awful is it's just terrible. So this is one of those cases. This is bad all around.
Right.
It just reminds me of the Dave Chappelle interview he did where he left his show and he was talking about how, Mariah Carey, hardworking chick, came up, lost her fucking mind. Same thing with Martin Lawrence. He was out in the middle of the street waving a gun around. He goes, the environment is so toxic. Even adults have a hard time with it. This wasn't his point, but just that it's crazy. Then you throw kids into these environments, which are awful to begin with. And then their parents suck. Like somebody said it once, they go, if your father sucks, you can still be normal. A lot of people's fathers suck. But if your mother sucks, you're done. And in this case, this chick was awful. So
here's the difference between Asian family culture is that you'll never really hear Asians talking shit about their parents is because it's kind of instilled in us that like you can never bring shame into your family name in Asia. So like I guess it's a lot more different in American culture where like you don't really give a shit.
So there was a book, Malcolm Gladwell wrote it. I think it might be it's either Outliers or The Tipping Point, but they talk about there's a correlation between they've graphed out the people and how closely they respect and revere their elders. Mm-hmm. Americans are on one side, and then most Asian nations and Brazil are way on the other side.
Right.
But they correlated that with plane crashes because and then they did this thing with Korean Air. So what would happen is like the co-pilot would notice that the pilot's fucking up, but because he respects him so much, wouldn't say anything, and then they'd all crash and die. And this sort of thing happened. Yeah, it's fucking wild. Same thing with Brazil Air. So what they did is they taught Korean Air pilots English because we don't have multiple words for elders. We just like hey, fucking the wing has ice on it. Deal with it. As soon as they taught them English and they didn't have the vocabulary of respect, planes stopped crashing. So my point
that explains a lot.
Yeah, there's good and there's bad about this.
Is we fix everything.
We fix everything. You need some freedom. You need some English. You need some Taco Bell.
Or if you need money.
Or if you need money. If you need
that actually explains a lot, Eric, because I take a lot of flights, for example, like Cathay Pacific or Cebu Pacific and Philippine Airlines. So they're all like Asian airlines, but I always notice that the pilots that do the readings to you, they're always either Australian, British, or American. So that actually makes a lot of sense.
They did another story with Korean Air. I believe it was Korean Air. It might have been Brazil. I don't know, but it was they were trying to land in LaGuardia, or I think it was LaGuardia. And so air traffic control is it's the most stressful job, right? That's what they say.
Yeah.
So they knew they were running out of fuel, but the people at the thing kept, no, just circle. And they were so respectful of the just circle will let you know that they fucking ran out of fuel and crashed and died. Whereas an American pilot would be like, listen, fuckface, we get 5 more minutes and everybody dies. And they go, okay, come on in. But the Asian, no, it's you take your time, and then they're all dead. So,
okay.
I think respecting people is nice sometimes, but others are gonna be like, listen, asshole. I don't know how we got here from this. Oh, because you said you never criticize your parents. Well, that's why you're taking showers with your father-in-law. You got to stop that shit.
I know.
Do you want? Okay, real quick. I don't know, but you brought up. So Tucker Carlson had Andrew Tate on.
Yes.
If you read the Twitter comments underneath, many people are like, I've heard a lot of bad things about Andrew Tate in the media, but then I saw him on this interview. He's just a very sweet young man. So it was a puff piece to the point of absurdity. So I just wanted to pull up some Andrew Tate quotes just so we can all reset on who this man actually is. So females are the ultimate status symbol. People think I'm running around with these hoes because I like sex. That's got nothing to do with it, blah, blah, blah. I get these bitches so everyone knows who the Don is. And I go out and fuck, and I come back to her, and I don't care about her, and I only love my girl. That's not cheating. That's exercise. This is one of 2 of many, many wildly misogynistic quotes. So Tucker Carlson is such a piece of shit. He has these people on. You need to watch the interview, I guess is my point.
Yeah. It is almost 3 hours long.
And it's all Tucker giggling like a toddler. With Andrew Tate.
It's kind of like when he interviewed Kanye, right? And they were giggling and drinking oat milk.
All he does is giggle throughout this entire.
What happened? Wait, is he wearing a bow tie?
He dropped the bow tie once Jon Stewart eviscerated him. Do you ever see that? Where he made fun of him for wearing a bow tie?
I like Jon Stewart. What happened to him now?
John, I don't know. He's not getting nearly the viewers that Tucker Carlson is getting, unfortunately.
Well, because he left his show. You know what's funny to me is these people go, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to. Then they come back like, I just want to try it again. Don't leave.
You know what's
what happened with Eminem? I said as soon as he disappears, I always say that, right? These people will disappear, and then they're like, I want to make a comeback. Don't leave.
Exactly. And honestly, they're doing a talk show, and they're getting paid a lot of money. And people write. We do a daily talk show. We're not getting paid anything, and nobody writes for us.
That's right.
This
is all from the bottom of our hearts, people.
Yeah.
It's people.
It's people helping people. Now, speaking of people helping people, LinkedIn is famous for people helping people. So we have some very reasonable people on LinkedIn.
Bring them up.
Very reasonable person number 1. So the devil.
I've seen the storm before. Yeah.
You cannot withstand the storm, and this warrior replies, "I am the storm." This is a LinkedIn post. What B2B service do you think he's providing?
Well, here's the question, right? I don't understand what all the equipment's for, and why. Here's the thing, right? So he's decked out in like literally SEAL Team 6 equipment, and then he's got on his Skechers.
Yeah, exactly.
Slip-on Skechers, right? What's going on here? And I don't know much about guns, but that looks like a pretty. Is that a fully automatic? Is that legal?
I don't know, but he's
It
all
looks like a modern Kalashnikov.
Mm-hmm. The most important thing is he has ear protection on because you don't want to damage your hearing when you're shooting up a school.
But do you think he's that hearing protection, or do you think he's listening to Taylor Swift?
He comes across as a bit of a Swiftie.
He looks ridiculous. First of all, he's going to die out there with all the equipment on, and he probably weighs that equipment probably weighs an additional 100 pounds.
Yeah, and I don't think he could run the 2 miles for the fitness test for any of the military services. He looks a little.
I would give him $100 if he could get over that bunker in full regalia with his headphones on.
I do like that the tough guys have embraced the goatee. You know what I mean? Like every tough guy kind of has this look about them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why is the devil whispering to him? If the devil was whispering, I'd be like, listen, don't worry about the storm. I got a lot of questions. You know what I mean? I don't give a damn about I don't care about the weather, devil.
Yeah, why is the devil giving weather updates?
Yeah. I got the guy on TV who's right 30% of the time.
Yeah, the devil whispers it's gonna be partly cloudy.
We should do one. We should say the devil said it's partly cloudy, and you said, forget about that. I'm sunny.
Yeah. Rodney, you were asking about like what kind of phrases people tattoo on their bodies. Like this would be one of them.
The
like,
devil
I am
whispers.
storm kind of shit. Yeah. A lot of guys like the shit. It's weird.
It is weird. So speaking of Nazi sympathizers, she look, I'm all for a good hook. Don't get me wrong, but her the Nazis were a community. The Manson family community. Were they evil? Yes. Cults? Yes. But they were also a community by objective standards. Now, hear me out. If you're trying to defend the concept of community, I don't think you need to go so far as the Nazis or the Manson family. I think there's many church, for example, not the atheists, don't get me wrong, family in general. A bowling league is a community. I don't
sports,
pickleball. Yep.
What? Yes. But here's the thing I don't understand, right? This is what blows me away. I don't know if you saw this or not. Do you see under it says edited? What did you take out of this?
Yeah, like, how did she soften this?
What did you change?
Yeah. And so then she justifies the Nazis and the Manson family by saying they had a shared purpose, they had reasons to return, and they had many, many relationships. Like that.
You imagine she was selling insurance, she would be like, now imagine you're dying with cancer. Your legs are rotting off. Just imagine it. You're laying there and you're dying.
Oh, God.
Her bedside manner concerns me.
It's a little concerning, but I do like that she did the black and white fist bump at the bottom to show that she's for everybody in many ways.
See, I think she should have done a knife and a Nazi symbol. Right?
Is the Nazi emoji?
No, I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, so she's trying to get some likes out of those Nazis. I will give it to the LinkedIn community. There's only 10 likes. Not bad.
One repost, so someone really was compelled.
One Nazi reposted it.
And she's building thriving communities.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, so this is the last one. So classic, make infertility fun again. I mean, right. For years, infertility had been the equivalent of an amusement park, but somewhere, some way, I think the Biden administration, clearly liberals, have ruined infertility. So this is, they're doing a world tour to try to have a baby and documenting it for all of LinkedIn to see.
So hold on. So I understand this. So these people left the United States to go to Europe to get IVF. Is that what's happening?
Yeah. So evidently that's what people used to do because infertility used to be fun, right? Obviously, that's what the implication here is. And they're just taking a world tour.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
IVF is so cool. Science and technology are amazing. Don't get scammed by the Americans' healthcare. Enjoy 2 trips to Europe for less than half the cost of 1 round of IVF in Utah. So, ladies and gentlemen, infertility once again.
And this one's also edited. Yikes.
People on LinkedIn are fucking lunatics. Not us, though. We're very reasonable.
Sure.
Oh, I was going to tell you, I was watching one of Chris's videos, and I didn't know this. He has an electronic flute. I'm going to ask him to play. What was that song we had to do on the recorder?
Hot cross buns?
Was that it?
Yeah.
We've got to ask him. We've got to have him back on with the flute and do it.
We're gonna do an entire concert of the recorder covers on the electric flute. All right, we gotta go. It cuts us off. We need to do a proper goodbye. So we'll see you tomorrow, America.
Say goodbye.